So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Creatrix. Welcome to Unacademy. So in these sessions, we are going to start the communication system and you are going to study the communication system like never before. So before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Soni and I have cleared ESC examination 2 times, both times in double digit rank. And I have also served as a Group A Gazetted Officer in Indian Railways and in Indian Telecommunication Services. And I have also cleared a lot of public sector examinations. So right now I'm teaching on Unacademy and I really feel proud to be the part of the Unacademy team, because Unacademy is the revolution in the field of free education and in the field of affordable education, and we as a team are really looking forward for every student to just come onto the Unacademy platform. You can attend the special classes, you can come onto this YouTube channel and you can stay connected with us so that you can understand the quality education and you can understand the efforts that we are putting in, so that every student of this country, whether he stays in a village or he stays in a town, should get the access of the content, that too in a very affordable prices, and he can also or she can also clear the examination with the best possible ranks. So right now I'm teaching on Unacademy with more than 15 million watch minutes in the overall duration and 2 million watch minutes in the last 30 days. So I am right now the top educator in Unacademy across all the branches, having rank 4 right now. And you can also follow me on Unacademy on this particular link. So you can go and follow me on Unacademy. Apart from that, my advice to every student is that how should you crack the examination and what are the components to cracking the examination. So the first question that comes to the mind, that can anyone prepare from the YouTube? Yes, you can prepare from the YouTube, but you should develop or cultivate some habits in yourself. For example, you should be very much disciplined. You should arrange the extra resources. For example, the PDFs you have to arrange, the test series you have to arrange by yourself, and most importantly, that self-discipline you should be containing in yourself, so that you can be very corrective manner and you can approach the examination in the best possible manner. So all these things you have to arrange yourself. The sense of competitiveness you have to cultivate in yourself, because the audience on the YouTube are not that much of competitive in nature, or maybe you cannot feel the competition which is present right now. So all these things are the part of the journey if you want to prepare through the YouTube, or maybe if you want to prepare through the free resources. Apart from that, if you want that you should get complete content, then this is the YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel itself, all the free content are available. You just have to go to the playlist. All the subjects are completed there. You just have to go and watch all the lectures one by one. Definitely will be getting benefited. But the extra things that I have told you, that the self-discipline and the sense of competitiveness and a lot of things you have to arrange by yourself. If you are comfortable in that, then you can do that. Apart from that, you should also have Unacademy learning app, so that the special classes you can attend. A lot of educators in this country are actually providing the special classes, that too absolutely free of cost, so that you can get the quality content in the best possible manner. Apart from that, there is also another component for you, which is Unacademy Plus. So on Unacademy Plus, what is your job? You just have to study. If you join this Unacademy Plus, you do not have to worry about the crash courses, weekly test, doubt solving sessions, the language barrier, rank improvement batches, live classes. So all these things will be taken care by the Unacademy. You just have to take the Unacademy Plus subscription and you have to come on to the Unacademy. You will be daily getting the live classes. You will be getting the crash courses. When you will be getting the crash courses? When the syllabus are completed. You will be getting the weekly test in the form of quizzes. Every fourth class is the doubt solving session, which is the major you can say the component or the major impact will be creating on your studies will be this doubt solving group. Because until and unless your doubts are not being cleared, until and unless you are not able to clear your doubts, you will never get the confidence in the subject. So once you come on to this Unacademy Plus, every fourth class is doubt solving session. Apart from that, various other doubt solving sessions are going on. So ultimately you will be getting your doubts cleared and you will gain confidence in the subject. The language barrier will not be an issue, because the batches will be running both Hindi and in English, and rank improvement batches will also be there. So all these things are the component of this Plus subscription. Once you come on to this Unacademy Plus, you do not have to be worried about your self-discipline, your competitiveness nature. Everything will be present on Unacademy, because a lot of other students will be there. Since the classes will be live, you can also watch it recorded later on. So the discipline automatically comes, because you get the idea that you will be having the daily live classes. Apart from that, there is also one iconic subscription. In this iconic subscription, the game changer is this personal coach. So this subscription is for them who thinks that their basics are weak, or those who are talented but they needs a continuous push. So this personal coach will be guiding you throughout your strategy. He will be giving you the study planners. You will be getting the study booster sessions. Once you will get the test, you will be getting the analytics. Analytics plays a major role in improving yourself. We as a teacher also get our analytics so that we can improve on the daily basis. So once you start getting the analytics, you will be also improving massively on the daily basis. Apart from that, there will also be the guidance for the mains once you clear the prelims, and there will also be the guidance for the interview once you clear the mains. So once you take the Iconic subscription, all the benefits of the Plus are included by default in this. And if you
Hello friends, welcome to this another problem solving video. So first of all, read out the question. It is saying that x and y are two independent random variables where x is uniformly distributed between -2 to 2 and y is also uniformly distributed between -2 to 2. So if you will draw the PDF of x, so it will become fx of x from -2 to 2. So it will become fx of x from -2 to 2 and it will become 1 by 4. Similarly, you can draw the PDF of y. It is also uniformly distributed between -2 to 2 and it will become 1 by 4. So in the problem it is asking us the probability that this mod of x plus y becomes less than or equal to 2. So if I consider this x plus y to be z, then it will become probability of mod z less than or equal to 2, or this can be written as probability of -2 to 2. So you can always link that if this x is random variable, this y is random variable, then this z also be a random variable. So if any random variable is lying between some particular value, so you can always link it with PDF. So you can write it as fz of z dz, where z is existing between -2 to 2. So if somehow we get the PDF of this z, in that case we can calculate this expression very easily. So what is your z? Z is your x plus y. Now z is uniformly distributed, y is also uniformly distributed. So we cannot directly comment whether z will be uniformly distributed or not, because this z will be uniformly distributed or not. This we cannot directly comment. If it would have been Gaussian random variable, y would have been Gaussian random variable, then we could have directly commented about z that z would have been the Gaussian random variable. But we cannot say directly in the case of uniform distribution. So what should we say? In this case, we can use the central limit theorem as long as this x and y are independent. So in the question it is already given that x and y are independent. So if x and y are independent, so you can always calculate the PDF of z. So this PDF becomes fx of x convolution fy of y. So basically you have to convolve the signal, then you can get the PDF of z. So you already know this is your PDF of x, which is existing between -2 to 2. It becomes 1 by 4 fx of, so sometimes you can also write it as fx of z convolution of fy of z by changing the dummy variables. It does not matter, because if you will keep the dummy variable same, then this equation will be consistent. So this fx of z versus z, and you also have fy of z versus z. So this will be PDF of y from -2 to 2. This will become 1 by 4. So you have to convolve these two signals in order to obtain the PDF of z. So we have already stated that if I have to obtain the PDF of z, we have to convolve the PDFs of x and y. So up can see that width of this PDF is 4, width of this PDF is 4. So you know that if the width of two signals are same, then the resultant PDF will always be a triangular function. So first of all, we will add the end limits. So the end limits will become -4. Here you will add the end limits. This end limits will become +4. So you can make the triangle. For making the triangle, you have to move 4 unit from this point in the right direction. So you will move at 0, or you can move 4 unit leftward to this point in order to reach this point. So basically you have to move equal to the duration of the width. So the movement should be equal to the duration of the width. So the width is 4. So if you will move from -4 to 4 unit ahead, so you will reach to 0. Similarly, if you will move a 4 unit leftward from this point, so you will move to the 0. So we will make a triangle between these 3 points. This is triangle, and this becomes fz of z. We know that the slope will be the multiplication of this 1/4 and 1/4, so it becomes 1/16. Similarly, slope of this region becomes -1/16. Now you have to find out the probability such that this z lies between -2 to 2. So this is the PDF of the z. Fz of z, it is existing from -4 to 4. This slope becomes 1/16. So obviously this height becomes 1/4. So this probability of -2 to 2 signifies the area of the PDF from -2 to 2, fz of z dz. So this area we have to calculate from -2 to 2. So overall, this area we are interested in. Now you can also see that from -2 to 2, this function is completely even function. So from -2 to 2, this function is completely even function. So you can write it as 0 to 2 fz of z dz. So I can only calculate the area of this particular region. And to calculate the area of this particular region, you can again use the area of the trapezoidal. So you can see, if you want to calculate the area of this region, so I can first of all calculate the area of this larger triangle which is present outside. So this is the larger triangle. So area of this region will become half. This is base, this is height, minus I have to subtract this area. This area I will subtract. So for this triangle, this is 2, and if you want to calculate this height, so you already know that slope is -1/16, and if you will move 2 unit on this axis, so it will become 1/8. So it becomes half, base is 2, height is 1/8. So it becomes 2 into 1/2 minus 1/8. You can write it as 2 into 3/8. Or 3/4. So this probability which we wanted to calculate, mod of x plus y should be less than or equal to 2, it is coming out to be 3/4 or 0.75. So this was the question. Now let's move on to the next question. In the next question, it is asking that it is having 2 independent random variables. So first keyword you must notice is independent, and random variables are x1 and x2. These random variables are uniformly distributed between 0 and 1. We have to calculate the probability such that one of them is largest. So in this problem, the x1 is uniformly distributed between 0 and 1. x2 is uniformly distributed between 0 and 1. So you can draw the PDF of both x1 and x2. So this becomes probability of random variable x1, and this you can write random variable x2. Both are uniformly distributed between 0 to 1. So it becomes 0 to 1. Similarly, this also becomes 0 to 1. Now, we have to calculate the probability such that one of them is largest. So I am calculating the probability such that x1 is greater than x2. So you can write it as x1 minus x2 greater than 0. Now if I consider my z to be x1 minus x2, so you can write it as probability of z greater than 0, or this can be written as 0 to infinity fz of z dz. Now, how to calculate the PDF of the z? If you want to calculate the PDF of the z, so what you can do, you can use again central limit theorem here. So when you will use the central limit theorem, so you know that this x is uniformly distributed, this is also uniformly distributed. So this z may not be uniformly distributed, or we cannot directly comment. If it would have been Gaussian random variable, this would also have been Gaussian random variable, then we could have said that z would also have been Gaussian random variable, but this is not the case. So from here we can write fz of z becomes fx1 of x, or I should write this dummy variable as z, convolution f of minus x to z. So this is the case. Now we know that x1 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, x2 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, so minus x2 will be uniformly distributed from minus 1 to 0. So let me make the PDFs of x1 and x2 again. So this is the PDF of x1 and this is the PDF of x2. The PDF of x1 is uniformly distributed from 0 to 1, so it is uniformly distributed from 0 to 1. This becomes the PDF of x1. Now PDF of x2 is uniformly distributed from minus 1 to 0. So it becomes PDF of x2 z versus z, and it becomes 1. Now in order to obtain the PDF of z, you have to convolve these two PDFs. So this fx1 of z gets convolved with fx2 of z. So after the convolution, it becomes minus 1, 0, 1. So this will become fz of z versus z. You know that these two triangles are having same width. This is also having same width. So the resultant will be a triangle. So you have to move 1 unit leftwards, rightwards from minus 1, and 1 unit leftward from plus 1, because width of both the regions are 1. So we have to move by the unit of the width. So width is 1. So we will move 1 unit here. So we reach to the 0, and 1 unit leftward, it reaches to the 0. So since width are same, so the convolution will result in a triangle. Now what will be the slope? Slope will be the product of these two values. So this becomes slope 1. So this height also becomes 1. Now we were interested in this probability x1 minus x2 greater than 0, or it finally becomes z greater than 0. And you have to find out 0 to infinite fz of z dz. So you can see from here that this fz of z means you have to calculate the area of this half triangle, and area of this half triangle becomes half base into height, or 1 by 2. So you can say that if x1 and x2 are two independent random variable uniformly distributed between some a to b, then probability that one of them is largest is same as one of them is smallest, and it always comes out to be half. So you can extend this discussion for more than one random variables. So you can write if x1, x2, x3 are 3 independent random variables uniformly distributed between A to B, then probability that one of them is largest same as one of them is smallest, and it becomes 1 by 3. Similarly, you can extend this as if x1, x2, x3 up to xn are n independent random variables uniformly distributed between A to B, then probability that one of them is largest is equal to one of them is smallest, and it comes out to be 1 by n. So this is very important discussion, and I hope you will remember this. Now let's move on to the next question. Now in this question, what it is saying, first of all read. In this question it is saying that this x1, x2, x3 are 3 independent variables, and also they are uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, which means it is saying that x1 is random variable, it is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1. x2 is another random variable which is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1. x3 is another random variable which is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1. Now we have to calculate the probability such that x1 plus x2 becomes less than or equal to x3. So this we have to calculate. So first of all, again in this problem, since it is the case of 3 random variables, so what we could do, we could convert these 3 random variables into single random variable, because we can very clearly see that this relation is suggesting us that x1, x2, x3 are linearly related. So somewhere we can use the central limit theorem. So it becomes x1 plus x2 minus x3 less than or equal to 0. So if I consider this x1, x2 minus x3 to be z, so this becomes probability of z less than or equal to 0, or it can be written as 1 minus probability z greater than 0. So if I will write this probability of z greater than 0, so it becomes minus infinity to 0 fz of z dz, or it also becomes 1 minus 0 to infinity fz of z dz. So here I have written both the possibilities. Whichever integration I will find easy, I will calculate that integration. If I will find that this integration from minus infinity to 0 is easy for the calculation, so I'll consider this. If I will find that this integration which is 0 to infinity is easier to calculate, so I'll find this integration. So I've written both the possibilities. Now come to the z. So again, z is the linear combination of 3 random variables. So how could you write this fz of z from here? So it can be written as f of x1 x convolution of f of x2 x convolution of f of minus x3 x. Now let me write this dummy variables as z, because this dummy variable can be written in any variable form. So this is written. Now you already know the PDF of x1, you know the PDF of x2, you need to know the PDF of minus x3. So what you can say that x1 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, x2 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, and what about minus x3? Minus x3 is uniformly distributed, will be uniformly distributed between minus 1 to 0. So first of all, we can draw the PDFs of x1, the PDF of x2, and the PDF of x3. So if you will draw these three PDFs, so the PDF of x1 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, so it becomes 0 to 1. PDF of x2 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, so it again becomes 0 to 1, and PDF of x3 is uniformly distributed between -1 to 0, so it becomes 1. So you have to convolve these three signals in order to get the z. Now we know that it is easier to convolve this x1 and x2 because these two are the rectangular functions, and the third one is your rectangular function again. So in this case, instead of convolving graphically, we will convolve mathematically. So this fx1 of z convolution of fx2 of z becomes uz minus u of z minus 1 convolution. You can write this signal as again uz minus 1. So first of all, I will convolve these two. So ultimately I want to convolve this fx1 of z with this fx2 of z with this f of minus x3 into z. But initially I will convolve these two. So upon convolving, you can see this uz when gets convolved with this uz, it becomes rz minus this uz, and this uz minus 1 will become rz minus 1, and this uz minus 1 and this uz also becomes rz minus 1. So I can write it as 2 times of rz minus 1 plus r of z minus 2, because when we will convolve this minus uz minus 1 minus uz minus 1, it will become r of z minus 2. So this becomes the convolution of fx1 of z and fx2 of z. Now if I have to convolve this fx1 of z with this fx2 of z and finally f of minus x3 into z, so it will become rz minus 2rz minus 1 plus rz minus 2 convolution with f of minus x3z. So how can you write it? It can be written as u of z plus 1 minus uz. Now again let us convolve. So after convolving this rz with this uz, you can write this as p of z plus 1. We know that the convolution of rt with ut gives us the parabolic function pt, which is t square by 2 ut. So in this case you can write it as pz plus 1. Then again this rz get convolved with this uz, so it becomes minus pz. Then again you will minus 2rz minus 1 will be convolved with this, so it becomes minus 2 pz plus 2 p of z minus 1 plus p of z minus 1 minus p of z minus 2. So you can write it as p of z plus 1 minus 3pz plus 3p z minus 1 minus pz minus 2, and this comes out to be the PDF of z. So what is the PDF of z that we got finally? The PDF of z was fx1 of z convolution with fx2 of z convolution with f of minus x3 of z. So this fz of z that we got finally becomes p of z plus 1 minus 3p of z plus 3p z minus 1 minus pz minus 2. So we have to find out the probability of z less than or equal to 0. So we said that we will calculate the probability from minus infinity to either 0, or the same expression can be calculated from 1 minus 0 to infinity fz of z dz, whichever will be the simpler for us. So you can see from here, if I will draw the p of z plus 1, so try to understand it carefully. If I will draw the p of z plus 1, so you can see that it is starting from minus 1, because p of z plus 1 will ultimately become z plus 1 whole square by 2 u of z plus 1. Pz can be written as z square by 2 uz. P of z minus 1 can be written as z minus 1 whole square by 2 u of z minus 1, and P of z minus 2 can be written as z minus 2 whole square by 2 u of z minus 2. So this P of z plus 1, if you will observe, it is starting from minus 1 and it is going up to infinity. So basically it is starting from minus 1, then it is going up to infinity. What about this uz? This uz is also starting from 0 and going to infinity. So this is the Pz plus 1. This is your Pz. What about this? This is starting from 1 and going to infinity. So this is starting from 1 and it is going to infinity. So this is Pz minus 1. And finally z minus 2 whole square uz minus 2. So it is starting from 2 and going to infinity. So this is your 2 and this is also going to infinity. Now you can see, if you will move from minus infinity to 0, so you are starting from this z equal to minus infinity, this point, and you are moving to 0. So if you are moving from minus infinity to 0, so you can see that from minus infinity to 0, you are encountering only single function, which is P of z plus 1. When you are moving from minus infinity to 0, you are not attaining any value of Pz, neither you are attaining any value of Pz minus 1, nor you are attaining any value of Pz minus 2, which means as long as limit is from minus infinity to 0, this function Pz minus 1, Pz minus 2 becomes irrelevant because they are nowhere coming in this particular integration. So if I will take this integration, so very clearly I can see that this integration is easier to calculate rather than 0 to infinity, because if you will consider 0 to infinity, so in that you have to consider three functions. One is Pz, another one is Pz minus 1, another one is Pz minus 2. So instead of calculating three functions, I'll always prefer the calculation of only single function. So when you will move from minus infinity to 0, so you can see that from minus infinity to minus 1, the value of function is 0. So from minus infinity to minus 1, this fz of z is not existing at all, and from this minus 1 to 0, only one function is existing, which is your P of z plus 1 dz. So this can be written as minus 1 to 0 z plus 1 whole square by 2 u of z plus 1 dz. Now this u of z plus 1 is existing, that this function must exist from minus 1 up to upper limit infinite, but we have to go up to 0. So this function becomes minus 1 to 0 z plus 1 whole square by 2 dz. So in this manner we calculated the value. So again let me explain you that z is existing from minus infinity to 0. So from minus infinity to minus 1, the function is 0, and from minus 1 to 0, it is Pz plus 1. So in Pz plus 1, if in the range from minus 1 to 0, you will put the value of uz plus 1, so it will become 1. So I have written it like this. So you can solve this and it becomes z plus 1 whole cube by 6, and limit becomes from minus 1 to 0. So whenever you will put the limit, you get the answer as 1 by 6. So the probability that was asked to be calculated, which is x1 plus x2 less than or equal to x3, it is coming out to be 1 by 6. If in the problem it would have asked x1 plus x2 greater than x3, so in that case the probability would have become 1 minus 1 by 6, or our answer would have been 5 by 6. Okay, now let's move on to the next problem. So this is the next problem. So read out the problem. In this problem it is saying that this x1, x2, x3 are three independent uniformly distributed random variable, again between 0 to 1, and we have to calculate the probability x1 plus 2x2 greater than x3. Okay, so in this case also it is saying x1 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, x2 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, x3 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1. We have to calculate the probability in which x1 plus 2x2 is greater than x3. So again we can see that it is a linear relation in this x1, x2 and x3. So I can convert into a single variable and later on I can use the central limit theorem. So first of all, I'm considering this z to be x1 plus 2x2 plus x1 plus 2x2 minus x3. This can also be written as x1 plus 2x2 minus x3 greater than 0. So if overall this function becomes z, so I can write this as probability of z greater than 0. So this can be written as 0 to infinity fz of z dz, or simultaneously I should also write minus infinity to 0 fz of z dz, whichever will be the easier. If I found that this 0 to infinity calculation would be easy, so I'll calculate this integration, otherwise I'll calculate from minus infinity to 0. Now we can see from here that this z is again the linear combination of three random variables 2x2 minus x3. So if I have to find out the PDF, so PDF can be written as fx1 of z convolution of f2x2 of z convolution of f minus x3 of z. So from here we get three random variables. One random variable is x, another random variable is 2x2, another random variable is minus x3. So from here you can see that if x1 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, so this x1 will also be uniformly distributed between 0 to 1. If x2 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, so what about the 2x2? So it leads to that 2x2 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 2. Now third random variable is minus x3. If x3 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 2, so minus x3 will be uniformly distributed from minus 1 to 0. So finally we got our three random variables in which x1 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, 2x2 is uniformly distributed between 0 to 2, and minus x3 is uniformly distributed between minus 1 to 0. So again I can make these three. One is x1, another one is x2, and another one is x3. So it is the PDF of x1, it is the PDF of 2x2, and it is the PDF of minus x3. So the PDF of x1 exists from 0 to 1. So this I'll choose from 0 to 1. Similarly, PDF of x2 will exist from 0 to 2, and if it is uniformly distributed between 0 to 2, so this height will become half. Similarly, minus x3 will exist from minus 1 to 0, this peak value will become 1. So from here I can write this fx1 of z as uz minus 1. This f of 2x2z can be written as half uz minus half uz minus 2. Similarly, f of minus x3 into z can be written as u of z plus 1 minus uz. So finally, in order to get the PDF of z, you have to convolve this fx1 of z convolution f2x2 of z convolution f minus x3 of z. So let us try to convolve these three signals one by one. So first of all, I will convolve this fx1 of z convolution with f of 2x2 of z. So it becomes uz minus 1 convolution half uz minus 2. So it becomes 1 by 2 pz minus 1 by 2 p of z minus 1 minus 1 by 2 p of z minus 2 minus 1 by 2 p of z minus 3. So it becomes 1 by 2, sorry, this will be rz, because convolution of uz and uz will become rz. So it will become 1 by 2 rz minus 1 by 2 r of z minus 1 minus 1 by 2 r of z minus 2 plus 1 by 2 r of z minus 3. So it becomes your convolution. Now in order to get the convolution of, so this fz of z will become fx1 of z convolution with f2x2 of z convolution with f of minus x3 z. So it becomes 1 by 2 rz minus 1 by 2 rz minus 1 minus 1 by 2 rz minus 2 plus 1 by 2 rz minus 3, and we will convolve with it with f of minus x3z, and that is uz plus 1 minus uz. So it will become convolution of uz plus 1 minus uz. So this fz of z becomes 1 by 2 p of z plus 1. So first of all we will pick this and we will convolve with these two signals. So it becomes minus 1 by 2 pz, then minus 1 by 2 pz minus 1 by 2 p of z minus 1, then again minus 1 by 2 p of z minus 1 minus 1 of 2 p of z minus 2 plus 1 by 2 p of z minus 2 minus 1 by 2 p of z minus 3. So overall this fz of z becomes 1 by 2 p of z plus 1 minus pz minus p of z minus 1, and this p of z minus 2 gets cancelled out and it becomes minus 1 by 2 p of z minus 3. So this becomes our overall function. Now you can see from here that this p of z minus 2 and this p of z minus 2 gets cancelled out. So this becomes your function. So finally the fz of z that we got comes out to be 1 by 2 p of z plus 1 minus pz plus p of z minus 1 while multiplying. This is minus, so this becomes plus. This is also minus, so this also becomes plus, and this plus minus. Okay, so here let me modify it, though it will not affect our final answer, but it will become 1 upon 2 pz plus 1 minus pz. Now this p of z minus 1 gets cancelled out, so it becomes 1 by 2 p of z minus 2 minus 1 by 2 p of z minus 3. Okay, so this fz of z becomes 1 by 2 pz plus 1 minus pz plus p of z minus 2 minus 1 by 2 p of z minus 3. Again you have to calculate the probability of z greater than 0. So it could be 0 to infinity fz of z dz, or you could have written it as minus infinity to 0 fz of z dz. Then again this is your fz. Now if I'll start writing this is your fz of z versus z. So this exists from minus 1 to infinity, it exists from 0 to infinity, it exists from 0 to infinity, and it existed from 3 to infinity. So if I'll draw this particular parabolic function, so it will start from minus 1 and it will go to infinity. Next will start from 0 and it will go to infinity. Next will start from 2 and start from 3. So this is the case. Now, if you will calculate this integration which is from 0 to infinity, so you have to consider these three functions. So let me write these functions also. This is 1 by 2 pz plus 1. This is your pz. This is of p of z minus 2. This is p of z minus 3 by 2. So if you'll start from 0 to infinity, so you have to integrate pz minus 2, pz minus 3 by 2. So rather it is easier to solve this integration which is from minus infinity to 0 fz of z dz. So again, when you will move from minus infinity to 0, so from minus infinity to minus 1, so it will become minus infinity to minus 1. There is value of fz of z is 0, so it will become 0z. And from minus 1 to 0, only one function is existing, which is your 1 by 2 pz plus 1. So it becomes 1 by 2 pz plus 1 into dz. So it becomes 1 minus, this integration comes out to be minus 1 by 2. Pz plus 1 can be written as z plus 1 whole square by 2 into u of z plus 1 dz. So this u of z plus 1 will have value of 1 from minus 1 to 0, because the graph of uz plus 1 will be like this. So this is the graph of uz plus 1 versus z. So between minus 1 to 0, its value is going to be 1. So from this minus 1 to 0, the value of this uz plus 1 becomes 1. So you can write it as 1 minus minus 1 to power 0 z plus 1 whole square by 4 dz. So this can be written as 1 minus z plus 1 whole cube by 12 after integration, and it becomes from minus 1 to 0. So if you will put the limit, you will get 1 minus 1 by 12, or finally you can write it as 11 by 12. So the final answer of this question becomes 11 by 12, in which it was asking us to calculate the probability such that this x1 plus 2x2 is greater than x3, and the answer of this particular question will become 11 by 12. Now let's move on to the next question. Let us see what it is saying. Okay, so this is the next question. In this question also, x and y are independent random variable, and it is forming another random variable z. So first of all, you should understand that this x and y are independent random variables. So if they are independent random variables, so z is mentioned here, which is x minus 2y. So PDF of x is given, which is gx. PDF of y is denoted by hy, and ultimately you have to calculate the PDF of z. So we have to calculate the PDF of z. How to calculate the PDF of z? We know that if x and y are independent random variables, so x and 2y will also be independent random variables. So initially it is given that x and y are independent random variables. So obviously x and minus 2y will also be independent random variable. So we can always apply the central limit theorem. According to this theorem, the PDF of z will become the PDF of x convolution with the PDF of minus 2y. So this is going to be the PDF. Now the PDF of x is mentioned as gx. So if I consider the PDF of x to be fx of x, or this can also be written as fx of, let me write this as capital X, as z dummy variable. So this particular expression, it is mentioned as gx. Sorry, this is mentioned as gx. So I can write it as gz. Now the PDF of y is also mentioned as, if I consider fy of y, so it is mentioned as hy. Now this can also be written as fy of z, so it becomes hz. Now we already know that if I talk about the CDF of y, so how will we write the CDF of y? The CDF of y will become probability of y less than or equal to y. So this is the CDF of y. Now let me talk about this CDF of minus 2y. So the CDF of minus 2y becomes probability of minus 2y less than or equal to y, or you can write it as probability of y greater than or equal to minus y by 2. So basically I have multiplied minus both the sides, so this sign of this inequality changes. You can also write it as 1 minus probability of y less than minus y by 2, or it could be written as 1 minus fy of minus y by 2. So basically this f of minus 2y of y comes out to be like this. Now if I differentiate both the sides, so I will get the PDF of my random variable minus 2y. So it is PDF of random variable minus 2y upon differentiating. So let me differentiate this. The differentiation of 1 becomes 0, it remains minus. First of all, it is also a CDF, so the differentiation of CDF becomes PDF. Now the differentiation of minus y by 2 comes out to be minus 1 by 2. So this f of minus 2y of y, it comes out to be 1 by 2 fy of minus y by 2. We have denoted this fy of y as hy. So this can be written as 1 by 2 h of minus y by 2. So you can write this as fz of z equal to, this is your g of z convolution with, you have calculated f of minus 2y as a function of y. You can change the dummy variable, so it will become 1 by 2 h of minus z by 2. So the final answer becomes so this becomes your final answer, gz convolution 1 by 2 h of minus z by 2. So 1 by 2 is missing in this option, third option, so this must be your correct option. Now let's move on to the next question. Now in this question, x and y are two independent random variables uniformly distributed between minus 2 to 2. So it is having two random variables and both are independent. So it is also saying x and y are two independent random variables. So x is also uniformly distributed between minus 2 to 2. Y is also uniformly distributed between minus 2 to 2. And they are independent. Now we have to calculate the probability such that maximum of x comma y becomes greater than 1. So we have to calculate the probability such that maximum of x comma y becomes greater than 1. So from here you can draw the PDF of x as well as you can draw the PDF of y. So this PDF of x is uniformly distributed between minus 2 to 2. So this will become PDF of x. From minus 2 to 2, this becomes 1 by 4. Minus 2 to 2, this value becomes 1 by 4. Similarly, this fy of y, it is also existing from minus 2 to 2, and this value will become 1 by 4 because area of the PDF becomes 1. Okay, so you have to calculate this. Now you know that maximum of x comma y is less than 1. It refers to the situation that x should be less than or equal to 1, intersection y should also be less than or equal to 1. So how can I write this maximum of x comma y greater than 1? So you can write the probability of maximum of x comma y less than 1 becomes the probability such that x is also less than 1 intersection y is also less than 1. Now if you have to write the probability of maximum of x comma y greater than 1, so you can write it as 1 minus probability of maximum of x comma y less than 1. So I will calculate this expression, then I will subtract it from this. So I want to calculate the probability of x less than 1 intersection y less than 1. So you know that x and y are independent random variables, so it can be written as probability of x less than 1 into probability of y less than or equal to 1. So this is your 1, this is your 1 for x and for y, so it will be for y. So here it becomes x equal to 1, it becomes y equal to 1. So if you have to calculate the probability such that x is less than or equal to 1, so basically you have to calculate this area under the curve. This area under the curve comes out to be 3 by 4 into probability of y less than 1 means you have to calculate the area in the PDF which is less than 1. So this also comes out to be 3 by 4, and from here you can calculate it as 9 by 16. But in the problem it is asking the maximum of x comma y should be greater than 1. So it will become 1 minus 9 by 16, or you can write it as 7 by 16. Now let's move on to the second part, in which it is asking us to calculate probability of minimum of 2x comma y less than 1. So in the second part it is asking us to calculate probability of minimum of 2x comma y less than 1. We know that minimum of 2x comma y greater than 1 refers to the situation in which both 2x should be greater than 1 intersection y should be greater than 1. So if I have to calculate the probability of minimum 2x comma y greater than 1, so it refers to the situation in which probability of 2x is greater than 1 intersection y is greater than 1. But in the problem it is asking us to calculate minimum of 2x comma y less than 1. So you can write it as 1 minus probability of minimum of 2x comma y greater than 1. So first of all I will calculate this, then I will subtract it from 1. So I have to calculate the probability of minimum of 2x comma y greater than 1. It becomes probability such that 2x is also greater than 1 intersection y is also greater than 1. You can also write it as probability such that x greater than half intersection y greater than 1. Now x and y are independent random variables, so you can write it as probability of x greater than half into probability of y greater than 1. So this is your PDF fx of x, fy of y. This is your x, this is y. Now, x is also distributed from minus 2 to 2. This becomes 1 by 4. Y is also distributed from minus 2 to 2. It also becomes 1 by 4. So in this case I have to calculate area under the curve from 1 by 2 to infinity. So it is representing that you have to calculate the area in the PDF which is greater than half. And I also have to calculate the area which is greater than 1. So these two areas you have to calculate. So this area becomes 1 by 4 into 2 minus 1 by 2 becomes 3 by 2 into it becomes 1 by 4. Overall it becomes 3 by 32. So this probability of minimum of 2x comma y greater than 1 coming out to be 3 by 32. So this value which is 2x comma y less than 1 will become 1 minus 3 by 32, or you can write it as 29 by 32. So this comes out to be the probability of this question. So this is it. This was all the questions from the random variables. In the next topic, we will discuss the questions of the random processes. Thank you.
So hopefully we have understood every concept in this class. If you have any doubt in any concept, you can let me know in the comment section. I'll try to resolve that thing. Apart from that, you can also follow me on various social media platforms. For example, you can join this Telegram group where you will be getting important notification, important updates. This is Telegram group where you can also comment, you can ask your queries, or maybe you can also suggest me for the improvement. Apart from that, this is my Unacademy profile. On this Unacademy profile, you should also follow me so that you can get the important updates of the Unacademy also, right? And this is the Notion page. You just have to type this tiny.cc/Vishal Gate. So you will be redirected to a page where all the special classes are arranged very systematically. तो मैंने बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स पे स्पेशल क्लास ले रखी है. फॉर एग्जांपल नाइक्विस्ट, फूरियर सीरीज, latches and flip flop, double integrations, okay, lot of things are there. So you will be getting all these concepts absolutely free of cost. You just have to type this in your URL. You will be redirected to that page and attend these lectures one by one. You will be getting a next level confidence in these topics that I can guarantee you. Now this is the Notion page of your YouTube, on which you will be getting the links of the YouTube. Apart from that, you will be also getting the PDFs of that particular lecture. So this is very important for you, and just you have to type http://bit.ly/gatelive. So gatelive, you just have to type it in the capital so that you can access all the lectures link and PDF arranged systematically. So if you want to attend or you want to clear the examination with the free resource, then this is the channel for you. This is the best recorded videos which has been ever made. You just have to go to that lecture, just click the link and download the PDF and start studying systematically. So we have also done this for you so that any student, whether he is sitting any part of this country, should not face the difficulty in cracking the examination, whether he can afford or he cannot. Now if you can afford, then the subscription prices are not something which you cannot pay. It is very nominal amount which you can pay, and you can just avoid all the distractions, all the time wastage which we will be doing in downloading those PDFs, arranging them, arranging for the test series, and a lot of other things that you have to arrange, doubt solvings you have to arrange by yourself. If you want to avoid all those distractions in a very nominal amount, so you can go for the Unacademy Plus subscription. For 12-month subscription, you have to pay only 74 rupees per day. Apart from that, for 18-month subscription, which is the best possible subscription, you have to pay 63 rupees per day. It is even lesser than the pizzas that you order on your home. So it is that much of amount that can shape your career, that can give you the best possible rank in the examinations under the guidance of the best teachers of the country, which has been right now placed on the Unacademy. Now 24-month subscription will cost you 54 rupees per day. So these subscription amounts will give you the subscription for the desired period. Apart from that, if you are using this code, you just have to remember this code, write my name, write GATE after it. You can also write ESC after it. So you have to write my name and write ESC after it. So any one of these code, once you apply, you will be immediately getting the 10% discount. You will be getting all the features of the Unacademy. You will be getting the guidance of all the teachers present on Unacademy, and everything you will be getting that is needed to crack the examination once you are using this code. So if you think we are working hard, we are giving our best content, we are giving the free content absolutely for you guys, and everything that is needed for every student to crack the examination. So never forget to use this code whenever you are taking the subscription. So this code is very important and you have to use every time you are taking the subscription. Now those who are interested for the prices, total price amount, so let me tell you, total price is 27,225 for 12 months, 34,650 for 18, and for 24 months it is 39,600. You can also pay this by using zero cost EMI. Zero cost EMI can be paid by credit card and debit card. In debit cards, there are only Bajaj and HDFC as of now available. Okay, so this zero cost EMI means you do not have to pay anything extra. Any interest is not, you should not pay, and you have to pay this much of amount on the daily basis if you are looking for the zero cost EMI option. Apart from that, if you are coming for Iconic subscription, so Iconic mein, I have already told you that your personal coach will be the game changer. He will be he will be basically following you to give you the guidance so that you can get the success in a very short span of time. So he will be following you, he will be pushing you every time. Now, once you use this coupon code, this will be costing you around 45,225. And if you are using this coupon code, write my name, date after it, you will be getting the 24-month subscription of Iconic in 66,600 rupees. Fine. Apart from that, every one of you should follow this GATE aspirant group, and there also some important notification always comes. Now, what are the YouTube channels that you should immediately subscribe? This Creatrix, this is the channel on which you are present. This is Unacademy GATE questions, where previous year questions has been solved by the educators. So you'll be getting all the previous year questions video solution apart from the PDF also. This is the Electrical Junction channel, where you will be getting the important concepts of EC and electrical. And this is Engineering Pathshala, where you will be getting some practical aspect of the videos, some animated videos that will enhance your ability to think. So these are the channels which you should immediately subscribe so that you can get a better content. Fine. Now these are my some YouTube videos which I have created for you. In all of these videos will give you some motivation, guidance, content, and some strategy. So these are hand-picked videos. You can immediately follow these videos. Okay. So thank you so much. And those who are coming on this channel, immediately share all the content which is present on this channel. We are working very hard for you guys. So this is your responsibility that you should share this channel. You should subscribe this channel. Also share the link of this channel, link of the videos, link of the educator whom you follow, so that every student who is needy, they can come onto this channel and they can get the best possible rank. So all the best everyone. Let's crack it.